Hey, this is Tracy with Alco Builders and Realty with another video, another edition, if you will, with Bill Cox. This is all about his life experience with the pool room. So Bill's family had the pool room in the 40s, probably in the 30s too. We could look that up, but I think it's really interesting to hear about the pool room and sort of the history there. Does the Royal Pool Room really have the best hot dog? You know, they advertise that they're like world famous or the best hot dogs. Now, where's that come from?
That comes from actually my uncle, which wasn't married to my aunt, but my father's sister.
Yes.
And they grew up with him, and he was like a father figure.
Yeah.
And he started those hot dogs in probably 1935.
That kind of chili, the hamburger meat chili,
He
no
made
beans.
the hot dogs. He did the hot dogs, and they did them then. And this started in 1935, in 35, 36. And actually, at the time, I had just some of those records they had, and they would buy a case and a half of Cokes and so many buns per day. And he actually went on the street and asked people to come in and eat the hot dogs. Now, they had a pool room too,
Right.
in there.
And everybody still calls it the pool room. They don't call it the Royal Lunch or the Royal.
It's Royal Lunch and Billiards was the name of it.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Royal Lunch and Billiards.
Like, I have a lot of family that went to Dayton, Ohio area to work. My mom's family in Bell County, Kentucky, a lot of them went to the Chicago area. I think somebody would go and come back from work. You know, you live that. You know, when people would come back and say, oh, there's work here. But do you think that's what got, like, my cousins grew up coming down here in the 50s for the summer, and they always got the hot dogs. And even today, and they've got grandchildren of their own, the first thing they want to do is come get those hot dogs. We have a funeral. They want room hot dogs because that's the comfort Lafayette food. Do you think that's how it got so popular? People that left and came back, and it was a staple. It was always here.
I think so, because a lot of people left, you know, this area after, especially in the early 50s, after WW2 was over with, and came back. And of course, people had been in the service in the military, had worked at the pool room, and they had gotten drafted in the pool room. I went to work in the pool room myself about age 12.
What'd you do?
I washed dishes.
Prestigious.
At that time, we had beer, and a lot of people. By the time I'm 12, Oak Ridge, is going strong, and we have a lot of people coming from Oak Ridge, and they working. We stayed open late, and we had back then the coolers and stuff was iced down. We had 3 big long coolers, and on Saturdays. We had so much business on Saturdays. C.B. Higdon was my first cousin, actually, like a brother. He and I were about the same age. And on Saturday, all we could do was to carry stuff from the back and bring them up front. And we'd ship the Cokes and drinks, soft drinks and beer up the front and put the other ones back. And they'd be cold trying to get up there because that ice was, you know, so
Right.
and it kept us busy all day long. And we sold so many hot dogs. People don't believe how many dozen hot dogs we get out. And this is unreal that you would say 100 dozen hot dog buns. You know, or 40 to 50 dozen, I guess it's. Once they could handle, we could have put them beneath the pool tables, stacked up. We had 5 pool tables. We stacked them in behind the pool tables for buns. Now we had a big back room that we kept drinks and stuff in.
And it's in the same building where it is now.
Back bit, yeah.
Okay.
But we couldn't put buns back there because the rest would eat them up.
So you put where the rats wouldn't like all the noise and the light under the pool table, and they'd be safe, right? The buds would be safe.
Yeah, we was inside, we moved.
Do I remember you telling me that they didn't carry over food?
Never carried over everything. Everything went out. Everything was finished.
That's amazing to me because that had to be a loss.
Well, they knew about what they could do. They were
Okay.
smart enough to know how much they could do. And if they see they're running short, they lighten up on the chili.
Get a little light, swimming pool, not a pool.
Yeah, it's like even if they had a good chili, buy a little extra chili. You know, they were good business people.
Yeah,
You know.
they were really smart business people, weren't they?
Yes, it was. This is where I really feel like about what education I had. I didn't have much, but my biggest education was from Carl Higdon, with what he did, and
The way he ran a business.
the way he ran the business, the way he talked, and I talked to him about it, and about business. And
So up here, you had breakfast at 6 and they stayed open until midnight
Mhm.
on Saturdays. Every day or just on Saturdays? How late do you think they were open?
Every day.
Every day. That's brutal. That's hard, brutal work.
And so my brother told him, why don't you put a window in there? And the ladies came up, they won't come in
Yeah.
there, but they'll order your hot dogs to
I
go.
did it as a child.
And you go up there
Yeah.
and get those hot
Get
dogs.
those hot
out.
dogs. Yeah.
But they were nicely known from all the people that lived here, went to Dayton, went to Detroit, went to all over the
Chicago,
country.
yeah.
They had kids from all over, and they bring them home, and they'd eat these hot dogs, and there's nothing like them.
Yeah.
And they're still going. Everybody's trying to do the same thing around here.
Yeah. If you get a hot dog here, anywhere, it's gonna have that pool room chili style, that pool room style, with just the hamburger meat.
The way we used to do the chili, we bought the chili dressing itself by the barrel.
Oh, wow, okay.
The original by the barrel roll. You go out to the store and you buy a little chili powder. You
Right.
get a little chili powder sitting in there.
Yeah.
Nothing like what we had. That's what makes the difference. It's the chili powder. You got to have that chili
And
powder.
they would get a barrel
A barrel
of chili powder.
Right.
How long did that last?
Couple weeks.
Saturday? When you think about the pool room now, everybody talks about hot dogs. But do I remember getting beans with a dip of the chili in it to make the chili beans?
Exactly.
Okay, so you just have pinto beans
You can
and
order,
hot dog chili.
you can order shit. They had, they cooked these beans, and we had, they bought the beans by the bottle.
Dry beans.
Dry beans. And you had to look them. So you sit over there and you look at all the rocks out of the beans.
Yeah, so look at a bean, and for the people that have never looked at a bean, you're taking out the rocks.
Put them on the table, you get all the rocks out of the beans, you cook your beans, and then if you wanted pinto beans, you can get pennies with a little onion on them. If you wanted chili beans, you take the beans, throw the chili in,
Yeah.
make the chili beans. Right.
I've gotten that before, and the first time I thought, what is this? Because you had to kind of stir it up because you had a hot dog chili and pinto beans. But it makes a great bowl of chili.
And they made beef stew.
Oh, yeah.
They made beef
Now,
stew.
what's a Jake plate?
A jack plate is part of, is a combination
Okay.
of the chili of the hot dogs with, you have 2 hot dogs with chili on it, and you put beef stew,
Oh, okay.
throw beef stew on top of it, so that's a jack plate.
Okay.
A guy came in one day and said he was of the Catholic faith, and he wanted to know if he had anything that didn't have any meat in it. And CB said, have you ever tried our beef stew?
So I guess it wasn't heavy on the beef, was it?
The beef.
I know, wasn't very heavy on the beef. You could do that and not be breaking your religion.